Hola clase, buenos días, buenas tardes, lo que sea. Welcome, welcome. I just wanted to spend a quick minute going over these three irregular verbs. You've probably already spent some time with them, already maybe starting to remember that they're irregular because of the preterite conjugations, quizzes, and your verb charts. But I wanted to spend just a little bit of time now to just set them apart, make them special, help them peg in your memories just a little bit more, and maybe explain a few things. So sentir, to feel, querer, to want, saber, to know. Sentir is actually going to teach us kind of a new rule that we follow in a certain set of cases. So let's get started with that one. Sentir, to feel. So you can look at it's completely normal in those first two. Senti, I felt. We took off the IR, added an accented I for IR verb. Sentiste, and also sentimos in the we form, all stay the exact same. But if you look at the he, she form and the they form, that E stem changed in the preterite tense to an I. Sintió and sintieron. So in the they form, not the they form and the he, she form, it is a stem changer, but it is not a stem changer in any of the other forms. We might have looked at this a little bit in class with other verbs. Normally, when a verb is a stem changer, so sentir in the present tense is actually a stem changer, and we call it a boot verb. Obviously, because it kind of makes an L shape, right? Because all of the yo form, the you form, the he, she form, and the they form stem change, and then the we form and then the vosotros form do not. Hence, it looks like a boot. But that doesn't happen in the preterite tense. What happens in the preterite tense, we actually call, instead of a boot, we call it a sandal, right? I hope you can see how, unlike a boot, it kind of just goes flat across. Oh, like a sandal. Sandal verbs only exist in the preterite tense. And in fact, sandal verbs are only IR verbs. So specifically, a sentir, if it's a stem changer in the present tense, so if it is a boot verb in the present tense and it ends in IR, that means in the preterite, it will be a sandal verb. So some common sandal verbs are sentir, dormir, and pedir. These are some that are familiar with us. They're either on a verb chart or we've used a lot in class. But that's not the limit of sandal verbs. Just as I had said, if you were paying attention, all IR verbs that are stem changers or are boot verbs in the present tense become sandal verbs in the preterite tense. All IR verbs. Okay, so that's kind of a new rule. If you see an IR verb that you know is a stem changer in the present tense, then you can change it to a sandal stem changer in the preterite. The next verb that I wanted to talk about is querer, to want. If you wanted something in the past, the first ER in the word changes to an IS. Why that is, we don't know. It probably changed, millennia ago, but that's the way it is now, and it makes sense to Spanish speakers. So, quise, I wanted, quisiste, you wanted, quiso, quisimos, and quisieron. So those are to want in the past. But also remember that we're not going to use querer too much in the preterite, because wanting or desiring something is normally going to be described as a continuous action. So we're going to be using that more often in the imperfect with quería. Finally, we have saber, to know, or in the past you knew something. It changes to a P. So it's super in the past, to know things. It's super to know things. Supe, I knew. Supiste, you knew. Supo, he or she knew. Supimos, we knew. And supieron, they knew. Again, you would only use this if you're speaking that somebody knew something in a specific moment. And then the rest of the times you would probably use saber in the imperfect, because to know something is normally a continual action. Why the B changes to a P? It actually probably was the same thing back in thousands of years ago. It was probably the same letter in their language, and then they just kind of adapted differently through time. the B and the P are actually the exact same noise. One's just called voiced, and the other is called voiceless. A voiced letter means we make noise in our throat and our mouth, and that is the B. Saber, b, 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 b. Right? We make a in the throat and a b with our lips. The P sound is the exact same noise. We just don't, the exact same things in our mouth. We just don't make the noise in our throat. So it's a p, 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 p. It's called voiceless. Supe, supiste, supo, supimo, supieron. So those are our irregulars. We do this in English all the time. I eat, and then it becomes I ate. Where did the E go? I don't know. Or I take something, and I took something. The A suddenly becomes double O's. We do this in English all the time to indicate different times and places. Not places, really, but different times. And they do it in Spanish as well, and it makes total sense. I hope this is helpful in remembering these irregular verbs. You get to use them in the work that you'll be doing. Good luck, clase. Ciao.